On the long road towards aviation excellence, there will undoubtedly be a Mirage or two in the distance. This symbolism is extremely applicable to the Mirage aircraft, as the reputation thereof as a potent fighter lures others on to catch up with it, while always remaining a few steps ahead. The South African Air Force's acquaintance with the Dassault Breguet Mirage F-1 aircraft began in 1975, when the first Mirage F-1CZ touched down on local soil. Piloted by Major Chris Lombard, who would later become Chief of Air Staff Operations, this aircraft took off from Mérignac in Bordeaux, France, to meet its first export customer at the bottom of the African continent. The Mirage F-1CZ was the natural successor to the delta-winged Mirage 3 fighter aircraft, and featured an impressive array of improvements on its predecessor. Most obvious of these was a conventional wing layout with high-lift devices which were aimed at significantly improving combat maneuverability and takeoff and landing performance. Although its maximum pursuit speed was similar to that of the Mirage 3, its patrol endurance was 3 times that of its predecessor, making it the obvious choice for the South African Air Force as its new fighter aircraft. In early 1975, 16 of these fighters were delivered to No. 3 Squadron at Air Force Base Waterkloof. Most of these aircraft were transported to the squadron by sea and road. A year after the arrival of the first F-1CZs, the South African Air Force's first Mirage F-1AZ departed from France and headed south to join our line of fighters. This aircraft was a clear-weather derivative of the Mirage F-1CZ Interceptor, optimized for the ground attack role. The F-1AZ was developed in parallel with the F-1CZ and appealed to the South African Air Force since most potential attack missions would be flown in clear weather. The first of the Mirage F-1AZs was delivered to No. 1 Squadron in 1976. At that stage, the South African Air Force was already involved in the Southwest African bush conflict, and the acquisition of these potent fighters could not have come at a better time. In 1978-79, 1 and 3 Squadron were deployed for the first time in the operational area. The two F-1 variants complemented one another on the battlefield. The Mirage F-1CZs from 3 Squadron were equipped with a powerful all-weather Thompson CSF Serrano 4 radar system. In its interceptor role, the F-1CZ typically carried 2 Magic infrared air-to-air missiles on the wingtips, as well as 2 30mm DIFA cannons. During the bush conflict, 3 Squadron operated from Ondangwa in northern Southwest Africa. This squadron was tasked with extensive strike missions against SWAPO. During an aerial reconnaissance mission, the F-1CZs were attacked by MiG-21s. 3 Squadron retaliated and shot down one of the MiGs, marking this squadron's first kill since the Second World War. In 1982, the pilot responsible for the first kill, Major Johan Rankin, shot down a second MiG. A total of 600 sorties were flown by 3 Squadron during this war. After the war, the Mirage F-1CZ's peacetime duties included the retention of air combat maneuver capabilities and the refinement thereof in terms of the third-generation air-to-air missile threat. 3 Squadron was, however, disbanded in September 1992 as part of the rationalization program. The Mirage F-1AZ aircraft from No. 1 Squadron also played an indispensable role during the Angolan conflict. Some statistics from the last phases of this conflict indicates that 1 Squadron flew 643 sorties between the period of September 87 and March 88. This aircraft offered a 2-fold increase in combat radius. The AIDA ranging radar is rather small, and as a result, a retractable air-to-air refueling probe can be housed in the nose. In the air combat role, the F-1AZ could be utilized for clear weather interception missions with air-to-air missiles, such as the Matra R550 Magic or the Arms Corps V3B Kukri infrared missile. The F-1AZ's navigation weapon system included a navigation computer, a bombing computer and a laser designator, which enabled automatic release of weapons. After the Angolan conflict, Mirage F-1AZ pilots and ground crew put effort into the captivity of the expertise that was gained during the Bush conflict. This responsibility was transferred during the course of 93-94 to 2 Squadron, in order to ensure that the transition phase could be bridged as smoothly as possible. Currently, 1 Squadron carries the title of the Principal Air-to-Ground Attack Squadron in the South African Air Force. This squadron, furthermore, sufficiently assists 2 Squadron, as the Principal Air Combat Squadron in its secondary role. Technological development is obviously of vital importance for the survival of competency in the South African Air Force. South Africa is the only country in the world that has had both Mirage types in service and a competent industry supporting them. In its quest to retain this competency, the South African aerospace company, Aerosud, entered into a joint venture with the Russian aerospace company, Rosjet, to create the so-called Super Mirage F1. This upgrade package essentially consisted of the fitting of a new afterburning turbofan into the Mirages. This turbofan, the SMR-95, was developed by Klimov on the basis of the technology of the RD-33, which powers the MiG-29. The use of this fan will result in increased takeoff weight and lower fuel consumption. This project, however, was discontinued in 1995. The bottom line, however, is that this upgrade offers the Mirage F1 the power and handling of a new technology fighter engine. Avionics are especially critical in fighters such as the Mirage F-1AZ. Therefore, this aircraft was the obvious choice when it was decided to improve the avionics system in order to render the South African fighter pilot more effective. Mirage 235 was first in line to receive this facelift. The work that was done on this aircraft forms the cornerstone of the development of a modular, generic avionics suite that can be configurated to different applications in different aircraft. In its final form, it will be a fully integrated avionics system capable of providing any modern avionics function. Air shows also form part of the Mirage F-1AZ's peacetime activities. These shows, which are held frequently at various locations throughout the country, enable the public to rub shoulders with their country's heritage of aerial combat. Bomb delivery exercises are also conducted frequently in order to maintain operational capability. There are different types of bomb delivery maneuvers conducted by the Mirage. The 14-bomb configuration was developed to allow greater flexibility in use of the F-1AZ in the close air support and strike role. Through the implementation of this type of delivery, it is possible to attack more than one target with sufficient bombs in each attack. This type of configuration also allows for greater area coverage in a one-off attack. Over the past 21 years, the Mirage F1 aircraft gained for itself the reputation of a reliable and effective fighter. It can still be depended upon to protect our skies, and will do so until the time comes to bid farewell to this pillar of strength. For the time being, however, it is apt to congratulate the Mirage F1 aircraft on 21 years of service in the South African Air Force.